The next two was reorganization of committee and then accept minutes, but until John is here, I think we should hold off on the reorganizations. But
Do you have an agenda listed?
Hmm?
No, I just wanted to know if you had something printed for the agenda.
No,
Okay.
you can have this when I'm done.
Okay,
It's very short and sweet.
okay, perfect.
Since John isn't here, I think we can look at the July 13th minutes and approve
Okay.
those.
Okay,
So if you want to read them, Ray.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyone else have any questions about it?
Well, I haven't finished yet.
Okay.
Okay, if anybody wants to make a motion to accept the minutes,
I'll move that we accept the minutes from July 13, 2023.
you want a second?
I
please?
second.
All in favor? Aye.
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 Okay. So these we accepted.
This one.
Okay, so next thing on the agenda is review special town meeting articles, possible votes. So what I gave you, oh, before we get to that, Jim received a letter, email from Quabog Regional High School, wanting to invite the Board of Selectmen and Finance, it's the first thing on your, to a meeting November 13th at 6:30. To discuss current state of the budget and items. So we're all invited. That's a Monday night, so I won't be able to attend. That's my bowling night,
Okay.
but, and then let Jim know if you can go, because they want you to say, I guess.
Okay.
Says, please let me know if you have any questions, and if you and they can attend.
Okay.
I leave for Tennessee that day.
Okay, so she can't go,
I'll intend to be there, you know.
okay,
Okay. I'll let him know that you're going, right?
yeah, and maybe John too.
John?
You know, we'll have to wait till,
Right.
you know, he comes, so. All right, so then the next thing is all the articles.
There was one more meeting, Madam Chair, that we got this week that I think it involved the Finance Committee for West Brookfield.
Didn't have finance, it was
didn't-
just you.
Oh, it was just, just me? I thought it was.
I left it at home, I left mine at home.
I thought it involved the Board of Selectmen and Finance.
Why don't you go look and see?
I can pull it up
Yeah.
on the email.
Before we'll get into the articles. I don't think it said finance, it said the Board of Selectmen, or I think it said you, because I left it on the table for next Wednesday, the 25th, right?
Says the West Brookfield Board of Selectmen and Advisory would like to invite you to a meeting to discuss possible override in West Brookfield.
It's addressed to you, not
Um,
us.
Yeah, but I thought
No?
they made a yeah, it is addressed to me and some of the selectmen.
Yeah, didn't come to finance. They didn't, why would they
Okay.
want finance there? We don't have anything.
Well,
to-
it said in the body of the email saying about having both a town's, representative of their finance committees.
Where? I read the thing. I don't remember that,
I
Jim.
thought it said something about
I'm
that.
telling you.
You know, make,
I'm going to make you read it, yes.
okay. You want me to read the whole thing
No,
out
you
then?
can read it.
Um,
Just take the time and read it, because I don't remember that, because I volunteered. I said, I'll
Mhm.
go with you, but it wasn't that I was required.
Okay. Oh, I said, and please invite any people that you feel that would be of importance to this.
They're very
to
important.
discuss
That's
it.
So,
why
if
John
Ray-
thought- that's why
if-
Jim thought it would be.
Next Wednesday,
Yeah,
What time?
I intend to go to that too.
okay.
Yeah.
Because it didn't say.
The
that-
time-
No worse
the
than
time
Jim
is-
going to meetings.
6:30, I
The
think.
time is
I thought it was 6:30, but I got it, I left it at home on the table.
Where is that?
West Brookfield,
6:15.
6:15.
On the
Town
25th.
Hall.
Oh, 25th?
Yeah,
Yeah.
next Wednesday. If you can make it, fine. If you don't,
Mm-hmm.
don't,
Uh-huh.
you
Just
know.
a real quick administrative thing here, Jim, would you check to see if I'm included on your group finance committee email list?
Finance committee just goes to one
Just goes
person.
to me.
Oh, okay. I assumed it was different because it was addressed to both finance committee and to
Me,
M. Watazik.
yes. Yeah.
Okay, sorry about that.
So who's that last meeting?
Who was that one from?
That was from Ron St. Angelo.
That's the West Brookfield Town Administrator.
Okay.
That's why I made a copy for you. Even if I needed to, I would have emailed it to you, but that's not till November 13th, so I figured that was,
That's fine. I just wanted to make
Why-
sure,
Why did he?
I do have your email address.
which you've sent to me
Yeah, yeah,
successfully.
yeah,
Yeah, okay.
yep.
Jim.
Very good.
I'm
Why,
sorry?
why did he want people coming to his meeting?
He's looking for anybody that has an interest in the finances of both towns and to discuss also, school budgets moving forward
Oh, okay.
of both towns.
because West Brookfield is planning on doing a Prop 2.5.
Right.
Oh,
That's what it's all about.
The town administrator, West Brookfield Town Administrator is looking for the school to support them in doing a 2.5 override. He's also solicited the school for their budget numbers, which is obviously way too early, but he now knows that. I went to last night's budget subcommittee meeting, and it was discussed there a little bit. So,
Because I think they have a hard sell for that in West Brookfield, so. Because it passed at, town meeting, and then it failed on the ballot, right?
what, the budget?
No, Prop 2.5
2.5,
override.
Yeah.
Didn't they tried one, what, like,
Few years ago, not too many.
it's been a little while.
Yeah, 5 years maybe.
5, 7 years, something like that, yeah.
Yeah, so. And Lester just did a big one too, and that failed. Passed at town meeting and it failed on the warrant, the
Ballot.
ballot. So anyways, so I think we got the articles pretty much in order that Jim gave me. I made copies,
And everything.
so we can take a look. If there's, I figured So you got the backup for most of them. If there's any that you think that you would like to have the department head to come into and to ask further questions, I'm gonna knock your water over there.
Oh, thanks.
Welcome.
It's been nothing but trouble tonight.
So if there's one of these that you think we should call in, like the fire chief or the police chief or whatever, when we go through them, we'll just, pass over it for tonight.
Call them next week.
Yeah, so basically, those go with how this goes. No, the first page is your first page, right?
Yeah.
This is the
Okay.
first. Okay.
Except for the first two questions Jim did on his own. Now I forgot what I was going to say. You'll notice here that there's some asking for transfers early, because what's happening is when we go to our next town meeting, it's going to be in June.
Yep.
So if people needed money, they could usually make it to the end of April. But if they've already had some big expenses, now they would have to wait till June.
Yep.
So there's going to be a few of those that normally would have been addressed at May,
Okay.
correct?
Yes.
Okay. All righty. So Jim, you can do the first two, those are
Okay.
yours.
So I want to report to the committee that I'm pleased to announce that if the committee has not heard yet, the town has gotten its free cash certified by the Department of Revenue. That number for fiscal year '23, for free cash calculation for 2023 is $1,580,795. Now, let me explain that number in its entirety. I know it's a pretty large number. It has been probably one of the largest numbers the town has seen in some time. And a little backside to that story. The town, because of COVID, was a recipient of approximately $1.5 million in ARPA funds. Those ARPA funds were strategically used the last year and a half to address ongoing capital projects, okay, that would have had to been addressed through the budget at some point in time, whether it be new police cruisers, new equipment for the DPW, for the highway department, radio infrastructure project for police and fire, grit screw for the sewer department. The list goes on and on. And we were trying to focus in on those projects so that we don't have to keep asking the townspeople for money, to not having those projects be incorporated into a budget, an ongoing budget, where the people would have to pay for it. So we used those strategically with the Board of Selectmen. We focused in on capital improvement projects, and we addressed those. Coupled also with the fact that, as you may recall, at the annual town meeting last year, there was about, or last fiscal year, there was about $435,000 that wasn't spent. We held the line on spending, so that $435,000 got recalculated into the new calculation of free cash. So, if somebody could say, well, geez, you're taxing the people too much. Well, that's not necessarily the case. We held the line on some of the spending, coupled with, departments cut back on some of their spending as well, coupled with we addressed a lot of capital improvement projects with ARPA funds versus through the budget. So with that being said, the first article.
Well, we want to finish,
Yeah.
So you take the 435, when the town accountant closed out the landfill enterprise fund, there was 117,000 that got carried over, so you can add 117 to that 435,
Okay.
and take that off of the free cash. Didn't have anything to do with the budget per se.
Mhm.
Okay, so the free cash would be probably just a little over $1 million, not $1.5 million.
Right. And so historically, the town, for the last couple of years, has been getting anywhere between $8 to $1 million in free cash. This year, obviously, saw a big jump because of that. Also this year, if you remember, Dawn Swistak, our treasurer, had a tax lien auction. So that tax lien auction also brought in roughly about $100,000 of additional revenue that wasn't anticipated. So, all of these additional revenues, coupled with strategic placement of funds and using of funds for one-time occurrences, have led to a strong number in the free cash position for the town. Any questions on that?
Not on the free cash.
Okay.
What's currently left in ARPA?
ARPA has roughly about $8,000.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What was the
I know
total
it was
we got to
down.
begin with?
Mostly
Yeah.
spent, but,
Yeah.
What did we get to begin with?
About 1.5.
okay. And that has to get used this fiscal year?
No, you have until the end of next fiscal year
Okay.
to allocate it, and then the
following-
following fiscal year
To
to actually spend it.
Oh,
Okay.
good, okay.
But the town is right on track with getting with getting the projects addressed. So then that leads me to our first article, which is to put in $352,000 right into our savings account, into stabilization. Currently, the town has $1,648,194 approximately as of June 30th of 2023 in stabilization. This addition to stabilization will bring us up over the $2 million mark, which would be historic for the town and would be a very strong position for the town. So that's a recommendation that I'm putting forward to this body and to the Board of Selectmen for number one.
Okay, so does anybody have any questions on it? Ray?
I don't, no?
Okay. Somebody want to make a motion to recommend this article?
I'll make a motion to recommend.
Is there a second?
And I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
So that's what we do, Ray. We recommend
Okay.
or don't recommend. And the school, we didn't have any opinion, so, on the annual there. So that's what we're doing. We're gonna look at this and see what do we think, and, if you want more questions, then, okay, Jim.
So the next article, Article number 2, is looking at our town's capital stabilization. And this is following suit, again, with what we did last year. Last year, we made significant deposits into stabilization and into capital stabilization at the special. So this year, we're going to be putting $100,000 into capital stabilization is what is recommended. This would put us over the mark of $600,000, over the $600,000 mark. We currently have, as of June 30th of 2023, we have $508,398 in capital stabilization. So this will put us right around the 608 number for capital stabilization, for capital projects.
Did you say 508 or
Yeah.
560?
508,
Oh.
yep. Again, a very strong number for the town, moving forward.
Okay.
I recommend.
And
Any questions?
First, that's,
No.
yeah, no? Okay, recommendation?
Ray, did you have a question?
No?
Okay, go ahead, Karen.
I recommend.
You make a motion to recommend. Is there a second?
And I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, Jim.
Okay, Article number 3 is taking $24,000 of free cash, okay, in directing it to special projects, okay? We've been working on building maintenance issues throughout our buildings, whether it be the Shepherd Building, whether it be Town Hall, or whether it be the Senior Center. We're working on projects in all of those buildings. Currently, right now, all of our building maintenance improvements for the Shepherd Building and the Senior Center, that article that was put forth in May, will be used up on a project at the Senior Center right now. It's completely exhausted. We need to put some additional funds in there to address some building maintenance issues for this building, about $7,500 worth. That's going to address some of the lighting that is out on the exterior of the building, as well as some other improvements that need to be made within the Shepherd building. For town hall repair maintenance, we have about $11,000 left in that account. We've been doing significant improvements at the town hall with new electrical panels, with required emergency lighting. We still have quite a bit of little projects that need to be patched up to make it, okay for the police department to continue to stay in there. So if we have about an additional $3,000, that would bring us to about $14,000 in that line. We would be able to continue out the year for that. For the senior center, $7,500. This will address for some of the issues, for some of the electrical issues that is down there that needs to be addressed. We're doing an exterior building improvement project down there. There is significant amount of electrical issues that have just been around the building. Wires hanging from the building, we don't know where they go. We don't know if they're live. We don't know if they're connected to what. There's old alarm systems there that need to be taken out. There's just things there that we're going to have to spend some money to make some improvements and maintain the building. So we're asking for that.
Is there any money in the Shepherd account now and senior center? Is there any money there?
Yes, there
Well,
is.
There is, but that money will be used. It's already,
So
Sorry.
that's already signed up for.
you're right.
Okay.
Right.
And the senior center, so
Right.
All anything that's left in those accounts are gone.
No,
Correct.
no, they're not gone, but
Yeah,
they've
but
been.
they're already assigned to some
yes.
projects. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
This is additional
Mhm.
work to be
You're-
done.
Anything from the roof inspection?
Well, that's the next article, so.
Yeah, well, let's
sorry.
wait.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I
So,
Yeah,
didn't see it.
so
yeah.
could you just tell Ray and Karen what the 30,000 that you're doing down the senior center?
So the 30,
What's going on now?
so there's about $26,000 left of the Shepherd improvement / senior center improvement project. $26,000 is being directed towards siding, painting, gutters, power washing, to take care of the exterior of that
Okay.
building.
Mhm.
We're also, the project came in at about $33,000, so we're short, right?
Okay.
So we're supplementing, I was able to go get the selectmen to give the okay to supplement that with some ARPA money. So we're able to use the $26,000 that's remaining left in the balance, exhaust that, we'll blend it with some ARPA money, to get the project completed.
Okay.
Okay,
And will the opera money you're just spoken of be out of that 8,000, or is that?
No,
Yeah.
no.
Okay, there's still.
There's still 8,000
okay,
after
so
that.
there's- Okay, all right.
okay, everybody, anybody want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Okay,
Go
go
ahead, Ray,
ahead.
go
I'll
ahead.
make a motion to recommend Article 3.
There a second?
One second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Jim. You might as well
Okay,
just keep going,
okay.
it's got your name.
All right, so Article 4 is to see if we can take some money from free cash to repair the roof at the senior center. So as we were going forward with the project of the building, exterior building improvement project, the contractor that's currently down there now, who is a general contractor, who has experience in building buildings and homes and in different things of that nature, while he was on the roof, he noticed that there was a significant number of squares or shingles that were missing from sections of the roof down there. Now, it doesn't appear that any of the ceiling is leaking. However, it is a drop ceiling that's in there, so it's not. You would still see some some residue of some leakage. I haven't seen any. I've asked the staff down there. They haven't seen any. So it doesn't appear that there's a leaking. However, I did call a roofer, Titan Roofing, from Springfield and Worcester, to have them come out and do an inspection. They did an inspection on Friday. They're supposed to be giving me a report either tomorrow or the next day. They feel that we can get by with another 3 to 5 years on the roof, so it doesn't need.
Patchwork now?
Yeah, it doesn't need to be completely replaced at this point, but there is going to be a need for some repairs. Anywhere between, $2,000 to $4,000
So-
worth of work.
Okay, so how much you want us to vote on, up to
3,000.
3,000?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just a quick question. Why Titan?
I mean,
Are you
they're,
familiar with them? Or?
they are they pay for number one. They pay prevailing wage. They're experienced with contractual municipal work.
Okay.
They've done quite a bit of municipal work throughout the Commonwealth. I mean, I can get some additional ideas and some additional quotes, but when we're talking as little as a few $1,000, I mean it's.
Like, why wouldn't you get Warren roofers?
They won't do it.
They won't. They don't.
I did call them. I'm waiting for a call
Right.
back from them.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Well, the thing you have to understand, then they have to pay prevailing wage. They also have to have $1 million liability policy.
Okay, so because it's
There's
municipal work.
a lot of when I say municipal work,
requirements,
there's
yeah.
requirements to
There's
do
okay,
municipal
all right.
work.
That's why I'm asking
Yeah.
the question.
Yeah.
I knew there was a
because-
reason.
It was a good
Yeah.
question.
I knew there was a reason.
Well, he did
Yes.
call them, but the same
Yeah.
thing that happened here is, there's
They
just,
know they couldn't do it.
well, he could, but it's just then he has
doesn't
to,
have the
the
requirements.
price is gonna go up and up and up.
Right.
He's got to pay all his workers prevailing
Prevailing
wage.
wage.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's why I asked.
Yeah,
I
no, I
figured
know.
there was a. Yeah. See, that's what
Yeah.
Well, you're learning.
I'm learning.
That's right.
What's prevailing wage?
It depends on what the job is.
You
It's
got to
the
get it from the
state,
Department of Labor.
the
Oh,
Department
okay.
of Labor.
It's,
It's,
and it's probably different for all the different trades.
and,
Right,
and
yeah.
the- where you live too.
and
Okay.
local-
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, we are very unfortunate when it comes to that because we're in the Boston market.
Oh, well,
Oh, yes.
So you're going to be
okay.
even paying
Yes.
higher for
Yes,
prevailing
of course,
wage.
Of course, got it. Makes sense.
So, but that's what I'm saying, But, I mean, he can always go and get a couple more quotes too if he wants.
If we
but-
were,
Oh, I know. I
If-
wasn't really concerned about getting into.
But he
that
did
quotes.
call Warren Roofers.
I was just curious why
Yeah.
you did.
When
Titan.
you do
Yeah.
local.
And he probably
Because-
hasn't
yeah.
called back, and that's the reason why,
Yeah.
because I know, just talking with him down at the gas station and stuff
Yeah.
before, they want him to look, I think, at, because we did these roofs and then the fire station downtown, and,
Yeah.
He can't do it.
no, he could do it, he
No, no,
just
but he
doesn't
can't.
want,
He doesn't
no.
have the requirements to do
Oh,
it.
well, he can, yeah, all he has to do is pay,
Oh, Vic, he doesn't.
and he has
want
to get the $1 million
Got
liability,
Mhm.
and he would
Yeah.
just prefer not to.
Just yeah. Yeah.
So, but he did call, and we'll.
Don't get
we'll-
entangled when you don't need to. That's.
Right.
I understand.
I'm all for the local guy.
Right, so if he
I-
calls and
yeah.
he's interested, we'll,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you can see, so. Alrighty, anybody want to do a motion? Any other questions first?
No.
No?
We'll make a motion to recommend Article number 4 for a $3,000 roof repair at the senior center.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
So Article 5 is to take some money from free cash to do some staff trainings. Currently, right now, we don't have a line, and it's not budgeted for staff trainings. One of the trainings that was talked about by the selectmen was to do some possible customer service training for all of the employees, and maybe couple that with some de-escalation training or verbal judo training with dealing with people that can be challenging at times. And so the selectmen feel that there's a value to that, and I do too. I'm not sure how much something like this would cost. In the past, going rates have been, $1,800 to get somebody professional to come in to do something like that for the day. Could be $1,500, depending on how it's structured. If I have to have a class at, maybe in the morning and then one in the afternoon for staff, depending on how we can structure it. But I think a $3,000 cap, we could do that, and possibly do an additional training if there's some other things that are available. I would like to maybe do a sexual harassment training. I think would be of value to the department. I will always look for something free in nature. I was able to get a sexual harassment training and an anti-discrimination training done for the police department, free by Maya, our insurance provider, but they only offer it certain times. So, and then they book up quickly. So if I can get the free ones, I'm going to get the free ones. If I need to hire somebody, then, there's people that come in and do these things.
I'm surprised it's not a requirement already. Just, because out in industry, you're always, every year, you gotta go through all this stuff.
Well, we just have to sign the form, right?
Well, you
had-
sign the
We had a
form.
sexual harassment here, but it was quite a few years ago,
Yeah,
when we had issues with the highway department.
okay.
Oh, you had a claim? Okay.
Does, Mass Municipal Association?
Yeah,
Seems like they'd put on some
They have recommendations
So
that,
they've got
that they
programs that
would
they would recommend.
recommend, to consult with and different things like that.
Wearing my Ray resident hat, I'm like, you learned all this stuff in kindergarten, kind of a thing.
I totally get it.
Ray, my town rep hat. It's an unfortunate necessity
It's a-
nowadays. It's
Exactly.
just to cover ourselves, that we can then legitimately say,
Right.
when someone sues, that
Yes, we provided
we
the
provided the
training.
training,
Yeah,
and you can't hold us responsible, go after the individual and not us.
And it's a necessary
So it's
evil.
cheap insurance, so to speak.
Mhm. Unfortunately, it's a necessary evil.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. So I'll make a motion that we recommend Article 5 to the town.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I think we should find out also too, how often that these should be, and especially if we don't have big
Yeah.
turnovers, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That.
might be okay to do it every second or third year
Yeah.
instead of every year.
Right.
Mhm.
Would you
Yeah.
require it?
Well, I think I would recommend at least every other year.
But I
Yeah.
meant if everybody comes.
Well, they have.
That it would
the
have
board-
to-
That would be through the
Okay,
Board
good.
of Selectmen,
Okay.
Yeah.
because,
Yeah.
Good, that's, okay.
paper, you have to sign a paper, don't you?
You have to sign in, yeah.
Yeah, okay,
Have
I'm
you-
good.
Did
I'm
you
with
get
that.
one? No?
For what,
There was a thing there, you had signed in about the sexual harassment, there was a page for that.
I
and-
don't remember that.
Well, yeah, that, and also bullying, there was a page we had to
Mhm.
sign for that, and then we had to
Right.
sign paper saying that we're not gonna be on the internet looking in the computer, and,
well, those are for
Oh.
employees.
Oh, yeah, that's
well, she's an employee, she's on the assessors.
Well, that's
Yeah, but-
elected.
So what?
I never signed anything
But
like that.
Yeah.
why shouldn't they have not to sign
The
it?
election people don't, elected people,
Okay,
Yeah.
I would just think they're,
They make that distinction.
yeah.
I would just assume they are,
Yeah,
they take an oath, the same oath as we take,
Mhm.
except for the
Yeah.
assessors, they have a different oath. But they take the same oath as us, so I don't see where that's an issue, but that's neither here nor there. Okay, Jim.
Article 6 is, this is what Madeline was talking about, addressing some things in the future with the budget. By the time the budget was done last year, I never got a finalized number from Vanpool. We have an out-of-district student that is attending a vocational ed school, and we have to pay for transportation and tuition. I got confirmation on the tuition, however, I never got confirmation on what the new rates were for the transportation. So I used last year's number. Well, last year's number was $4,960 short. Last year's number was 38.7. So.
38,700?
Yep, for transportation. You're gonna have to add $4,960 to that. And that's to attend a vocational school in Northampton.
Does any of that come back from the state? Like,
we
you know
get-
how the school gets,
A small
We get a
amount.
small Chapter 70 on the education,
It's about $11,000.
so we do get something back.
Oh, very small, you know. Maybe now with some of the new rural aid talk, maybe maybe it'll increase a little bit. But I think last year's number was a little over 11,000.
Yeah, I didn't see this year's, don't remember seeing what it was. Should have been there.
I think it was
on the
like
charter
around
sheets.
12,000.
Yeah, I don't know, I don't remember seeing the number, so. But,
well, it's a mandated number, so it's not
Right.
even, not even anything to talk about. So I'll make a motion to recommend Article 6.
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Article 7 is by the Board of Selectmen. The Board of Selectmen is charged with, and the town is charged with maintaining the levy in town. And as part of maintaining that levy, there's costs associated with maintaining the levy. Every year, the U.S. Corps of Army Engineers comes out and does an inspection of the levee. As a matter of fact, they're coming out next week on the 26th at 10 in the morning to do an inspection. They have a whole list of things that they would like to see the town tackle to maintain their levee, with the caveat that if we maintain it and the levee fails or there's a significant break in the levee, that they will take on that, the requirements of fixing it. So it's into the town's interest to maintain it, and we've had no funds to maintain it in the past. So this would create an article to start addressing some of the maintenance issues at the levee.
So is that 25,000 for maintenance that's already identified that needs to be done? Or is that to establish the account? For example, if it costs $5,000 for the next 5 years, we'd have the money there, sitting there. Or is there an identified maintenance need today?
There was a report that was done at the last inspection that identified a whole host of maintenance things, like cutting back brush, debrushing, getting somebody in there to exercise the levee, and to make sure that the levee functions are working properly. This was listed in a report, and to be honest with you, I don't know who would maintain a levee like that. I would have to do some research into figuring that out. This would be just to get us started on some of the deferred maintenance that has been happening there.
This would be a line item every year, and what's left at the end of the year would be turned back to the town,
Okay.
unless they have.
So if you used 15,000 this year,
Then it would go back to free cash.
To 10,000 would go back into the town for the free cash calculation.
and then you just have a new article for the next
No,
year?
it'll be a line item. It'll
It'll
go
be a
right
line
to
item.
the, it'll
Okay.
go,
It-
the
it-
first year is an article,
Okay.
and if
then
it's gonna be
becomes a line
continued,
item,
then it becomes a line
And
item
part
in
of
the
the-
selectmen's budget.
part of the omnibus.
Right.
Mhm.
Okay. Any sense as to, if there's a lot to do?
Oh,
It's
there's
just a stab at.
yeah. I mean, this is just the first thing. It's never been done before.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
So we
I
don't
mean,
know how much of it's gonna.
I mean, the
be covered
levee's
by
been
this.
there for how many years? For zillions of years.
That's the one right down by Wright's, close
Right.
to the building.
Yeah. So
That's right.
nothing. The town's never really done anything, to really maintain it. So
So we don't really know if this is even gonna put a,
I would imagine it's gonna put a small dent into what
Okay.
needs to be done.
Okay.
Right. You know, I don't
gotta
know,
start somewhere.
right, I don't know if, for, Department of Revenue wise, that maybe Jim could find out, if we could set up put some money there, and I don't know if you can set up a capital project, so the money just stays there, and then you put more money in and more money and more money. Generally, that's done through a special capital stabilization account, but then you can't transfer the money, you can't spend the money till it's transferred out. So I think that's something that we could look into. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So like, say if we only spent
Yes.
15, well, then, and if we can set up and put money into a separate account to
For the
help offset.
Perpetual maintenance of it.
Right,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying, and
Yep.
then, do the line item for 15,000 a year, but let's put 20 in this special capital stabilization, so then if something big comes up, then it would just go to town meeting, and then you would take the money
The
out.
money's there, yeah.
That might be the way to go, but
Okay.
that's something to talk to the Board of Selectmen about. Because I just don't know if you can set up a capital project and put money in every year. I think it has to be through capital, a special capital
Yeah.
stabilization. But that's what Jim's for, so.
I mean, I don't know anything about it, so I don't even know if that's a reasonable number to propose, but it's as good as any other number.
It's a starting
It's
point.
a starting point, okay.
Unfortunately, we don't know what it's gonna.
Right.
Yeah. So I'll make a motion to recommend Article 7 for the 25,000.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So, Article number 8 is to transfer from free cash $3,717.56 to the Shepherd Building expense line, and this is for security hinges on some of the doors here at the Shepherd Building, the interior doors at the Shepherd Building, some of them, and for some power washing that was done in the rear of the building.
So this is work to be done or work that was done?
Work that is on order, the security hinges are on order, and the power washing has already been done.
So the security hinges are to remove the hinges from the outside the door.
They're non-removable
Right,
pins.
right, okay.
Because that's the thing, is if we don't pass it, then come
Yeah,
June, they're
yeah.
gonna ask for the money.
Right,
These were
yeah,
things.
so it's
that- Yeah.
So I'll make a motion to recommend Article number 8 for the expenses for the Shepherd Building.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Before we go much further, Jim,
Mhm.
I know you added up the number just in case anybody's interested, or you think we should wait to the end to see what the
Well,
total is?
I think we could wait to the end.
Okay,
That's no problem,
all right,
because I think people will be pleasantly surprised.
okay. You're still up, Jim. You're up for a while.
Okay, so Article number 9 is to transfer from the facilities custodial salary line, sum of $14,000 to the Shepherd Building maintenance expense line to cover the costs of cleaning services for the Shepherd Building. Unfortunately, as the board may be aware, we have an injured on-duty individual that has been out, and so because of that, the building still needs to get cleaned. And so the Board of Selectmen have asked for an outside cleaning service to come in, which we was able to get. They're doing the Shepherd Building, they're doing Town Hall, they're doing the fire station, highway garage, and the senior center. by one individual. He's here every week. However, last week he was out with COVID and he wasn't here. So it's an outside company, and we're looking to put money back into the Shepherd Building maintenance expense line of $14,000, transferring it from the salary line back into the Shepherd Building maintenance line to cover the costs of that, of the expenses. That will get us until right around town meeting time. I still don't know how the selectmen want to proceed on whether or not they want to continue services, or what the case may be,
Custodian's coming back.
or if the custodian will be coming back. So it's kind of up in the air at this point, but that's enough to get us to put back money that we've already spent, and to get us whole by town meeting time.
Besides the Shepherd Building, Town Hall, Senior Center, Fire Department, Police Department, did I miss something?
Highway?
Thank you.
How does the service compare to the salary? Like, as a run rate? Are they?
It's about the same.
It's about the same?
Maybe a few $1,000s less in terms of the salary line than the service.
Okay.
And
Yeah, so it's, yeah, you know what I'm getting at.
Yeah,
It's-
so
if
the
the
salary-
service is costing 3 times what it would, then just
Right.
hire a new custodian.
right,
But you may not be able to because of the
right.
injury and all that, yeah, okay.
Right.
So if it's anywhere near the ballpark, it's basically a transfer for, the money would have been spent on salary instead of being
Correct.
spent on service.
Right.
Any other I'll make a motion to recommend Article 9.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Article 10 is to transfer from free cash the sum of $4,000 to purchase one electronic speed sign for the town. This is being proposed by the Board of Selectmen. Again, this came up under discussion from the selectmen. As you may have seen them throughout town, there's a few speed signs around. There's a speed sign on Southbridge Road. There's one on, there's two on 67 at either ends. One's by Spencer's Garage. The other, right when you're coming into town by Dippin' Donuts there. So there's 3 that I know of. This would be the 4th one. The chief also has a mobile one that he puts out as well. So those signs are quite costly. They're about $4,000 a piece. The selectmen would like to get an additional one.
We need another one?
I'll just speak up, I'm against this. There's no need for it.
Okay.
I mean, we have
I-
3, plus
They
the
can
mobile.
they can move the 3 that they have around to different places.
Where did they want to put it?
They didn't mention, the only place that when I was speaking with the chief that he thought might have some value, would be, on South Street in West Warren, near the elementary school.
You could put one on Bemis Road.
Right.
It's,
Mhm.
no,
Yeah, well, I
it's
think they
not-
were concerned
if-
about the school, that's all.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
see the school,
Because
because it's like one of the other ones.
They don't have
for-
the flashing-
For people who are gonna speed, those signs aren't gonna slow them down. And so it's not gonna serve any corrective purpose. For people who are inclined to be compliant with speed limits, it's a nice reminder.
That's what
It's
I'm-
it's
it
fun
is a
to, it's fun to see, yep, that matches my speedometer, my speedometer's accurate, okay, that's cool. But I do not see the need to spend, if they were $400 or even maybe $1,000, but when I saw that number, I was like, you gotta be kidding me.
They're expensive.
Yeah.
And it is not money well spent, in my
Now, up
opinion.
at Quabog, do they
Oh.
have the flashing lights for school zone up there, do you know? I don't remember. I mean, there's a lot of places like
There's
Brookfield,
some,
you know, it's got
there is
the-
some kind of flashing light up there somewhere,
Right, but
isn't
the
there?
elementary school does not have anything, that's what,
Okay,
so, I guess,
take
what,
take
Right.
one from 67 and put
Right.
it up by the school then,
no, but I'm just saying, Jim
Yeah.
can ask them
yeah.
where they were going to put it, he can bring us back that information next week,
Oh, that's good.
and then we can discuss it
Okay.
some more.
Yeah.
All right, good.
I-
Okay.
So we'll
Where
put
it's
a
gonna
hold.
go, okay. What else would you like to know?
Where it's gonna go?
Just that's
Just
it?
where it's gonna go, I
Okay,
suppose.
okay.
I mean, if it's by the, I can see by the elementary school because
I can see by the elementary school.
they come flying down South Street, okay?
Yeah.
If they had the other lights that flash and say school zone or
Okay,
something,
so I do have another question. I presume, is there any data collection with those things?
No.
Or is it just,
no.
No.
okay.
Oh, wow.
Do they have ones that record data?
A lot more money.
Well, give me a number then.
Yeah, find out.
Because that's
Okay.
something,
Dr.
that's something,
Dr.
because that would be actionable.
Mhm.
Because then, someone from the police department could review the numbers,
Mm-hmm.
see just how blatantly bad it is,
Mhm.
and set up a patrol.
Data.
And that it would help them, instead of just sitting there on the turnaround on 67 halfway between Warren and West Warren,
Mm-hmm.
and just catching everyone that way,
Okay.
they would know. Yeah,
Right, sorry. Well,
between 1 and 4 p.m. on weekdays, we better set a patrol call up there for a week or two at the
Mhm.
school, and
Yeah.
Makes sense. And,
Yeah.
and that would, because that will be the deterrent.
Mhm.
Yes, that
But
is
just
right.
those, just
Yeah.
these signs by themselves is
Mhm.
not a
That,
deterrent.
that's why the police,
Yeah.
certain times of the day sits on Southbridge Road, when people are going to
Mhm.
work or
Yeah,
coming
yeah,
home,
yeah.
because,
Mhm.
they
Right.
know,
But to me, that would be the utilization on such things. If there, I presume there was data collection.
No.
If there's not,
Mhm.
then this is not money well
well, then I
spent.
guess you can,
And I'd be much more inclined, even if it was,
More, depending on what it was,
well,
more, yeah.
yeah, depend-
I know.
right. And I'm flabbergasted that it's a simple, you know what? Someone who's handy technologically, I'm sure they could put one of those together for $300. All you need is the motion detector and a display, and a little bit of electronics to do it. I'm not, he who proposes disposes and all that, yeah, I know. But I'm astonished at that number, and without data collection, I couldn't support it. But anyway,
So you'll
So
find
what
out
do we
that
do here
information.
with-
We're gonna move it to
yeah,
next
we'll
week.
just hold it.
Hold it.
So
Yeah.
hold this.
Hold it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Mhm.
because that's the thing, I mean, it doesn't, even if we decide not to recommend,
Yeah,
I mean, the selectmen.
can still put it out there.
Well, the selectmen will can put the article on.
Oh, yeah.
And then they
It's
can
not the-
stand
It's
up.
not with, right.
And they can stand up and defend it if they want,
Right.
Or they may ask FinCom, why did you not approve it?
Mhm.
And then we need to,
Because that,
Give a rationale.
right.
now, last week on Southbridge Road, there was a wire going across. Somebody put it out there.
Those are usually car counts,
Okay.
Yeah, that's a highway.
probably
Is that-
DOT.
In town here we have?
Oh, all the time?
Yeah.
Even
Yeah,
you get
because
them on
then you can
67.
know-
Oh, I never saw that before.
Road
Okay.
maintenance.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's,
Okay, I
Yeah.
never saw that
Yeah.
before.
yeah.
Yep, they do it, they've done it there, and Route 67, you'll see them, down sometimes,
Right.
just by Como's down there,
Okay.
they'll have them cross. I've seen them on, and it's the more popular, you're not gonna see it like on Old West Brookfield Road,
Right. Mhm.
going to the school, you're not gonna see them,
Yeah.
but any
This
road
was main,
that's,
yeah.
because
Okay.
South,
Main thoroughfares. is-
Yeah.
yeah, main thoroughfares.
Okay.
Brimfield Road, I think I've seen them on Brimfield Road, because that's Route 19, but that's
Mhm.
usually state,
Okay.
so.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so Article 11 is in reference, Article 11 is to take, to ask to use free cash, the sum of $25,000 to commission a management assessment study for the Quabog Regional School District as approved at May 9th, 2023 annual town meeting. So there was a non-binding question that didn't have any money associated with it at the meeting last May, if you recall, to commission a management study that passed. Now, to get a management assessment study done, I reached out to the Collins Institute and to see if they will be interested in and if they are capable of doing something like this. I have a call with her tomorrow afternoon. I put $25,000 in there as a placeholder. I've looked at what other assessment studies have cost in other communities this size, and they've been around that figure.
Well, if you're gonna talk to her tomorrow, maybe we should put a hold on this
Yeah, I
till
would
next
say
week.
put a hold.
See what you
Yeah.
could really come
Yeah.
back with, yeah.
Yep.
Because that's how I think,
Is this basically an audit?
no, this
No.
is an assessment,
Yeah.
Okay.
because
Just
West
checking.
Brookfield wouldn't help pay for an audit,
Right.
because that's where I see the issue
Mhm.
is that student ratio, teacher ratio, this is that type of
Mhm.
information, to see exactly that. The audit
Totally different.
is totally different.
Okay.
Mm.
We do get, supposedly the town gets a copy of the audit, or
Yes.
supposed to
Yes.
get a copy of the audit. That is done, but this is this assessment of the overall
Yeah.
operation, I guess would be and that's what I think is needed. That's my personal opinion.
Yeah. Do they really need an assistant principal, for example? Or is that overkill for the size of the school and all that kind of stuff?
Correct,
Yeah.
correct. That's how I see it,
Yeah.
that, you know. Okay,
Article 12, so we're gonna hold on Article 11.
Mhm.
Article 12, to see if the town will raise and appropriate the sum of $1,000 to the Selectmen Information Technology account to fund additional email accounts or take any action relative thereto. This is in reference to the Selectmen IT Information Technology account. That was budgeted right to the line, and did not leave any room for additional email accounts that cost approximately $20 a month for additional users or for additional hires, for changes in the subscription status. If somebody needed a Microsoft or a Word, that is at $100 a month. So this would give us a little bit of funds to make some additional adjustments as needed throughout the year.
me and Jim talked about this, and I suggested it would be raise and appropriate. It's a regular line item for 1,000, instead of taking it from free cash.
Okay.
It would
Make
be, it would be like it would be in the omnibus budget, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? I just wanted to make sure you understood that.
Yeah. So Jim, to cover 20 a month, 240 a year, that'd be 4 more accounts, that would cover that. But $100 a month for Microsoft products, do we anticipate? Because that's only 1.5.
Yeah, I don't anticipate, those licenses I try to hold those back.
Yeah.
So hopefully we.
I mean, everyone who needs it right now has it.
Right.
And like, what addition, I'm just thinking, is that enough? If you can anticipate, yeah, we're gonna need 2 more people, so they have access to.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think that
All
there
right.
is,
Yeah, email accounts, I can understand that, you pick up another person here or there doing something, they need to email, and that, like I say, that accounts for 4 new accounts, which in all likelihood never happened, but if it was the Word products or Excels and all those, that kind of stuff, then 100 a month, it's, basically that's gone, so, it's not even 1.5, it's not even 1.
And this will only get us to June 30th.
Oh, for half,
Yeah.
half or less of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll make a motion to recommend Article 12.
Okay, I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Article 13 is a 9/10 vote to see if the town will transfer from free cash the sum of $1,627.70 to Architectural Insights for a prior fiscal year bill for Town Hall window replacement project. So in your packet, there's a previous, they're quite old bills.
It's after, go down to architectural insights,
Some of the bills are from 21,
20.
20.
21.
20 and 21. The total bills add up to $1,627.70. It's a local company. They did the work. It's a company out of Palmer. These bills need to be paid by the town.
I'll make a motion to recommend Article 13.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Aye. We have to pay our bills.
Yeah.
Well, I was surprised to find out that one of the partners does the billing. So I imagine these just kind of got overlooked, You know, he
Oh.
doesn't have like a
Oh.
person.
Yeah.
Well,
Didn't-
Yeah,
the-
yeah.
I remember at town meeting last year, there was a similar kinds of articles.
Mhm.
I think there was more than one, actually.
Yeah.
And it got spoken to about,
Verizon. Getting
yeah,
shut
whatever
down.
it was, and that there be a, that you do what you can to get the department heads to review that, all this kind of stuff, check their books and
Right.
clear all this kind of stuff up.
But this was the Windows project. So, okay.
Right.
Okay. That would have been under the Board of, no, I know, but this would have been under the Board of Selectmen. And I know we had turned back the money that was left in the Windows project back to free cash.
Okay,
Otherwise, we wouldn't have had to worry about this. It could have been paid.
okay.
But we thought the project was done.
Because we didn't get the
Right.
bills?
I wasn't here. Apparently, we didn't. I'm just saying that's
Yeah,
what
yeah.
it appears to be. We
Yeah,
didn't get
yeah.
them.
Yeah.
I wasn't here either,
He
yeah.
wasn't.
So
either.
I'm not, there's no chastisement, it's just
Yeah.
Yeah.
all
But
that,
we-
Yeah.
all that is a query. Did that happen? Did
Yes,
does-
yes, so
You haven't had-
we've had department head meetings, and we've had staff meetings
Mhm.
on the purpose and the importance
Cleanup.
of cleaning up the books. You'll see that the next two articles are similar in nature, to a couple of the other departments,
Okay.
that were prior year fiscal year bills that, have not been paid. Whether they went to a wrong email address, or whether they were lost in the mail,
Yeah,
you know.
right, so it's being attended to, and
Right.
that's all.
I
my-
believe we're in
yeah.
much better shape now than we were
But that's what I'm,
6 months
my
ago.
point
Yeah.
is, for the Windows, that
Yeah.
you wouldn't have known.
Right, right,
Because I was, you know, these were after I came, but, you know, when, you know, like I said, because I retired in April. But, you know, I wouldn't have
Right.
known that we owed for a CAD.
Some of those are
Principal
2020, yeah.
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 Yeah, yeah.
That basically was what it was, and, you know, we got the we got the windows, we got the people in putting them, so I'm just assuming, you know, everything. But the project's definitely under the Board of Selectmen, but I just had procured it, so,
Okay.
okay.
Article 14, similar, prior year
Next,
fiscal
yeah.
bill.
Should be the next one.
Um,
Yeah,
that-
Tammy's put on the side there, because he must have moved her. My second one was for Tammy,
mhm.
town accountant. That's what I had as second, but if you don't, that's fine.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Was cable advisory. Cable advisory is needing to pay the sum of $2,524.10 to pay Valley Communication for prior year fiscal bills for the purchases of audio and video equipment. And this would be coming from the Cable Advisory Fund.
So, I'm kind of confused, because he's saying here, barring any major issues, we can cover this with our current cap without needing any sort of increase, so why is he asking for it? Because I
Their
thought.
prior year fiscal year bills.
I understand, but I thought we were gonna appropriate it. I thought we were adding more money in.
Oh.
Right, so it's still gonna be appropriate, okay,
Yeah,
right.
We good?
yeah.
Okay, yeah, so we'll recommend Article 14 for the Cable Advisory Fund increase.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Article 15.
In case you guys have any.
No, we're all done.
Oh,
All right.
oh, okay.
Article 15 is from the Board of Health to pay prior year fiscal bills from free cash for $11,770. Barton and LaJudas for landfill monitoring wells, PFAS analysis, and engineering services. These bills were not paid on time due to an accounting error by the vendor. We have a new staff person in the Board of Health. She had showed me that she had sent an email to this vendor, Barton and LaJudas, and prior to going to town meeting in May. And at that time, the vendor said that there was no outstanding bills. A week later, after town meeting, these bills, I guess, weren't processed in their system, and now are due to the town.
Are there two of them?
What-
Should be
that-
three.
that's- No. What,
Oh, no, two bills.
two bills.
Yeah.
The animal, take that out and put them on the side. That's, yeah, this one we're not doing yet. That's
Okay,
further
got
down.
Okay.
So one bill is in the amount of $10,560, and that is for landfill monitoring wells and PFAS analysis. And the other one is for $1,210, and that's for engineering services and facility inspections.
We owe the bill.
Yep.
I recommend we
So-
pay them.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate that the person took the bull by the horns and contacted the company. I mean, it's the same thing as the other one there, that they didn't do a very good job, whoever their bookkeeper was, saying, yeah, we owe these bills.
Yeah, she's cleaning up.
Yeah,
You want
I
to
recommend we
make a
move to
motion?
motion. Yeah, move motion.
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, I don't know, I thought these were in order, but they're not.
It's
That's
okay.
all right.
It's all right, we can,
Could be the
Okay,
worst
now
thing.
Jeremy.
okay.
I got Jeremy down here. He was more closer to the top before. That's where I had him. I thought they were in order. Guess I should have looked. This is what it looks like. Town
Oh, right,
administrator.
yeah, he is, it looks good.
Yeah.
Yeah, right there.
That's what I mean.
I'll find it.
Okay.
Yeah. He was near the
Close to the
top
top.
before,
That's
yeah.
Travis. It's okay. Go ahead.
You need one, Ray? Or?
No, he's got it in there somewhere.
There it is. Okay.
Okay, you want me to do a couple for you, Jim?
Yeah, if you want to take this one, I'll take the next one. I know the next one.
Okay. So Jeremy submitted an article, I just want, because I'm not sure if Ray's aware of this, how it works, to see if the town will vote to transfer $12,602.95. He has an account, it's called Receipts Reserved for Appropriation Highway Equipment Fund, to purchase a hopper sweeper for $5,882.35 and a 48-inch B-blade plow for $6,720.60. So this account, it's receipts reserved for appropriation. When the highway plows the schools,
Mhm.
Quabog and the elementary school, he gets money for that. And it goes into this account
Okay.
to buy just equipment. So it's receipts reserved, he just can't spend it, it has to be voted at town meeting
Okay.
to appropriate it. So that's where the money's coming from.
Okay.
Because I didn't know if you knew, so I just figured I'd tell you.
No, thank you.
You're welcome. That's why it has receipts reserved for appropriation.
Okay.
It's not just a regular account.
Do you know, by any chance, do you know how much money's in that account, or roughly?
Okay, 20, was it 20?
It's a,
There's
30?
plenty of money in there.
Oh, yes,
Yes,
oh,
yes.
yes.
Okay.
Oh, no, I would have checked. If I didn't check, Tammy would have checked, but I definitely checked
Okay.
on the balance sheet.
yeah.
So I'll move that we recommend Article 16 for the Highway Department.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Yeah, before we get to vote on them, like, especially like in May and stuff,
Mhm.
the town accountant has to check and make sure the balance, that the money's there, that's
Really,
getting transferred.
really
Well, because you
available.
can't
Yeah.
have a deficit,
Right.
only snow and ice.
So Article 17 is something that I spoke with the highway surveyor, Jeremy Olson, about directly. The town, the Board of Selectmen, about 4 or 5 months ago, had a meeting
I don't think there's.
with, no, there's no.
There's
backup.
there's
Oh,
nothing for
okay.
this one.
Had a meeting with the environmental protection and the enforcers of wildlife, Division of Wild Fisheries and Wildlife, to talk about a piece of land that they have where there's a very prevalent beaver population. And the beavers have been making dams, as they do, and causing problems for the town when the dams give way and water rushes down, particularly a lot in West Warren.
Main Street.
Main Street area, 67. We currently have $3,000 budgeted for in that line item. Beaver trappers are expensive, and there's not a whole heck of a lot of them out there that will do this type of work. And some of the locations where these beavers need to be trapped are very remote and require, some specialized skills to get down there. So the $3,000 would be exhausted relatively quickly. I talked to Jeremy about, what his thoughts were to really do a good job to try to get some of these beavers eradicated from town. And he was thinking around, if he had 7,000 to tackle them, it's going to be right around November season is when they can start trapping them and start really getting.
Did they relocate them?
I'm not sure what they do. I'm
I
not
would
sure.
think they're trapping them unless it's a live trap.
I'm not sure, somebody
do it, they
at
don't.
one of the meetings was suggesting about, having it for some type of meal, but I mean, I don't know if that's
I'll
true.
pass on that one.
I don't know if that's true or not. I'll take his word for it. It's a problem in town. It's an unfortunate problem, but it causes a lot of havoc. I've seen newspaper articles. I wasn't here on one of the weekends when it happened, but there was a neighborhood or small street that flooded pretty bad over there in West Warren.
So this one wasn't the worst. The worst was, do you remember, Ray, a few years ago? It
There was a
was
really bad one,
Yeah.
maybe 5-6 years ago. Yeah. I never saw any of that uphand. I remember hearing about it though.
It was
and
bad.
pretty
Oh,
bad,
yeah.
Yeah.
I think the Ware Road,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, I
Village
mean,
Point
it-
and, bad.
A really severe washout again is probably gonna cost $5,000 or $6,000 to repair, so,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's up at the end of my street.
yeah.
North Street, used
Okay.
to be the KOA campground.
Yeah,
Up there, but then you have to walk way down into the woods to get to where the beaver pond is.
it's on that west side of the park.
Right,
Yeah,
I live on the east, well,
You're
the
on
park
the-
is down here, I'm up here.
right.
The campground's at the end of the street, up the end of North Street,
Oh, okay, I thought it was on the other side of the park.
correct.
There's one over there,
But you have to
too?
go up to the end,
Okay,
that's the divisory's land there, that's where you go to, because it's all private land on this side.
Okay.
Then they have to hike down,
to come around,
come around
Okay.
to where the beaver pond
Okay.
is. Yeah.
yeah,
It's not because my mother-in-law lives where that brook is,
okay.
on School Street. It's behind her house. Just before you take the Ware Road, right
Yep,
there, that's
yep,
where it washes out.
yep.
There's a big, and because they fixed the culvert, I think they put a bigger culvert in after that real bad one.
Yeah,
It's amazing how much damage they can do.
Right.
yeah, so we'll make a motion to recommend Article
Yeah.
17.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Oh, here's the animal inspector. Now we can get to that one. I put it on the bottom. That's the Warren Board of Health, the other one.
Okay.
Joey, want me to read it?
No, you can.
Okay. Well, I don't want you, you don't have to talk all night, so
Oh, yeah.
I'll let you do the fire department,
Okay.
police department, how's that?
Thanks.
Okay, and then I'll do the treasurer. To see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate the sum of $300 to the animal inspector to cover additional costs of inspections for the months of October, November, and December. And here it says it's for barn inspections. So,
Oh, you want me to put the barn in there? Okay.
No, I'm just, well, I just said it.
It says it in the thing, I didn't see that, okay.
And, yeah, and what got submitted to you.
Barn inspections, okay.
I don't know who our agent is for the animal
Do you know who
inspector.
the animal inspector is?
Yes, Tammy
Tammy.
Dufresne.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
That's what I thought
okay.
she was, but I wasn't
What-
sure if she still was.
Okay.
Yep.
So, what is the role that she plays with dog enforcement? Is that,
That's,
Separate.
it's separate role.
that's a separate role?
Separate
Okay,
role,
so
yeah.
she's both.
That's under the selectmen, this is under Board of Health.
Okay. Oh,
Barn
okay, I see.
inspections and-
Okay, so she wears the two hats.
Mhm.
Okay, I thought it might been Tammy, I
Mhm.
didn't know for sure
Yep.
though, it's okay.
It was, but then I thought maybe she wasn't going, I heard she wasn't going to do it anymore, so I didn't know
Okay,
myself.
and just, I'm not opposed to it or anything like that, but just curious, what,
So there's
Wha-
additional inspections, from what I understand, for these particular months, October, November, and October, November, and December, there's additional requirements for reporting of some of these inspections and additional inspections that are
Okay.
required during this time
State
period.
required?
Yeah, that would require additional time.
Right.
Does it have to
so
be
will that get
stipends.
rolled in
Right.
for going forward?
Yes,
To the line
we
item.
would be budgeting for it,
Right.
you know, next year.
Okay, so it was just inadequately budgeted for?
Well, I just looked it up. She
Okay.
gets paid $100 a month.
Okay,
That's all she gets paid for whatever
Yeah.
inspection she's got to do, because she's got to do the cows and all.
Yeah, there's more requirements in October, November, and December.
okay, and so for next year, instead of
Yeah.
getting 100 a month, instead
Well,
of
I don't know,
getting,
Jim better write it down.
So,
because I
so
know-
she's gonna
she should
get,
get 1,500 a year instead of 1,200.
well, she's gonna get an additional $100 for the
3
month.
For those 3 months.
For those
Yeah,
3
double.
months.
All right, so
But,
$1,500
but
a
the
year.
next fiscal year,
Right.
instead of a $1,200 line
Budget,
item
yeah.
It'd be
budget,
15.
it should be 1,500.
Correct.
Or potentially more, depending on
Correct.
how much rates,
Right.
will go- reporting requirements will go up or that
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, we'll make a motion to recommend Article 18.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Yeah, and I wanted to say this when we were back on the beaver there. They have to be licensed by the state. You just can't hire anybody to get the beavers.
Oh, that's,
They
And there's
have-
only very few
Right.
pool of those
Yeah.
people.
yeah,
Yeah.
interesting.
They have to be licensed and registered
Right.
by the states. Well, I didn't know if you knew that, I was just
I,
telling you.
I don't know any details, but
Yeah.
I know you just can't go out and do what you want to the beavers.
Well,
Yeah.
What official, you can't legally go out and,
yeah.
are we being recorded? 'Cause
Yes, we are.
I have a story to tell, but I'm not gonna say it on
Yeah.
camera.
Well, once he shuts it off, you can tell us. Because I got one too, so. All right, so it looks like the police is next.
It's
so-
all good, no beavers were harmed, trust me. But it's a humorous story about
All right.
beavers.
So Article 19.
You gotta go
um,
down a couple.
To get to
Police
this
is-
one?
The police is
The
next.
police one's
That's
next,
two-
I got
After
that.
the
Yep.
Yeah, I
fire.
got that, yeah.
Okay.
So Article 19 is, for the police department, is to see if the town will vote to transfer from free cash a sum of $49,786 to purchase a new police interceptor and to trade in a 2020 Ford Police Interceptor with over approximately 104,000 miles, on which it is currently at the end of its useful life. So this is keeping up with what we're trying to do with the police fleet, is to get, rotate them out over 100,000 miles.
It's the next one. The
And
next one
to maintain our fleet, to make sure that we have a fleet that's up to date and doesn't require a lot of maintenance to the vehicles.
I attached the quote for you guys too.
This particular purchase, if approved, would be off the state's bid list from one of the providers. This would be transferring existing equipment, so the light bars, the radios, all of that stuff
Onto the new vehicle.
would be onto the new vehicle. If the town was to get new light bars, new brush guards, new radio equipment, this price would be easily, $5,000 to $7,000
Oh, yeah, they've got a
more.
whole list of them.
So are we trading in one vehicle to get a
Yes.
new one? And it
Right.
still costs $49,000?
Well, the trade-in, I don't know. The trade-in, I'm still waiting to hear back on what, if anything, what they'll give us for a trade.
Because a 2024, still got to be worth something.
Yeah.
2020, yeah, police cruiser, maybe we'll be able to get, some money for it. I'm waiting to hear back. The chief is on vacation this week, but he had reached out to the dealer to see if, what we will get for a trade. So that number will be reduced by something. The number,
Do you know when we'll know?
I would say by next week.
Can we put that one on hold?
Yeah.
Put it on hold?
Just so we know what the bottom line is.
Yeah.
You okay with that?
Yep.
Okay, so, oh, you know what? I should have pulled out the holds. Why didn't I do that? Oh, the dummy. Oh,
Okay, Article 20, to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate the sum of $3,895 to cover the costs associated with a new police hire. $3,535 to be added to police salary line for a new hiring starting at a step 4, and $360 to be added to the supplemental salary line to cover the cost for extra educational incentive costs. So recently, the town hired a new officer, and the chief decided to start him at a step 4, which there wasn't enough money to cover a step 4 in the budget, and so instead of doing this in June, we're taking care of this right now.
Okay. I'll make a motion to recommend Article 20 for the additional police salary.
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, Article 21, to see if the town will vote to transfer from free cash the sum of $400,000 to the fire engine number 1 capital stabilization account. The town has already appropriated $200,000 towards the replacement of fire engine 1, or take any action relative thereto. In your packets tonight, you'll see a letter from Chief Lavoy. Chief Lavoy states that on average, there's about a 15% increase on this project each year. He would like to get this addressed to avoid the rising costs of this engine, and to get it replaced. The town has put away already $200,000 towards this project. So this project is, going to be somewhere around $650,000 to complete its entirety.
Which brings the next question is the balance of the 50 is going to be a transfer.
So, as part of a good faith effort, Article 22 talks about the regional communication center assessment. Okay, the town budgets for a regional dispatch at this year we budgeted $129,741, which was actually under budgeted. The actual assessment was $148,485, and so every year for the last 5 years, the town has been a recipient of a grant from the state. For the first 3 years, it covered the entire cost of the regional dispatch, so the town had to pay zero. And so when they got the grant, they were able to reallocate those funds that was budgeted for other projects, and for the other projects that they participated in. The chief was able to finish the radio infrastructure project with some of these funds and these monies. So this particular fund this year would only be grant for about 50%. There's only a 50% grant available, so the town would have to still come up with
74.
was it 74,000? So out of that balance, there's about 53,000, 54,000 left available. So if we take that 50,000 and redirect it towards this project, originally the chief had come in here asking for 450. I said to the chief, can we take this 50,000 from this grant so that free cash wouldn't get hit for so much? And we can, see if we can make this project a go. And he was agreeable to that, and so that's where we're at right now.
So that will knock, that's what you were talking about earlier about the free cash getting knocked down because of this, of this
50.
transfer.
Yeah, that's why I had him say it when we were
Oh,
talking about it, just so
okay.
everybody could understand. Because he's got 200,000 sitting out
Yep.
in the fire capital stabilization, and then these two together would be enough to buy the truck.
Well, as I said, the other one was 2020, this is a 1997.
Oh, yeah, our fire trucks are old.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think he should be all set for a while,
Yeah.
He's got his new ambulance, he's got his own new car, he got the pickup truck through ARPA, and then he got the brush truck and this, and,
Yeah.
I mean.
It's a big ask, but Adam's always good about,
He's very conscious of things.
he is, and he's, yeah, so.
Because otherwise it'd be 200,000 this year and then
And then
next year.
200 next year.
No, it'd be
just-
more than that, because he's saying it's a 15%
be-
increase,
because
so
of
then
the-
you,
because
it's
of-
probably
right.
gonna be another 100,000.
Right, the race against the
Right.
ever-present inflationary
Right.
aspects.
So,
So we'll make a motion to recommend Article 21
mhm.
for the $400,000 transfer.
A second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And we'll also recommend Article 22 in a similar vein.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye, yeah.
Okay, Article 23 is for the fire department as well. See if they will raise and appropriate the sum of $15,000 to the advanced life support expense line to cover additional life support calls or take any relative action thereto. The chief has seen an increase in uptick in ALS calls. It's really tough to budget for this particular line item because we don't know, when these calls will be coming in. We hope never, but we have to be realistic. And right now, his line is running low on that, and this would hopefully carry him through the end of the year.
Yeah, and that'd be another reason too, was because of the budget being moved back another month,
Hmm.
because I don't know, what are they up to, 375 or 400 a call?
Yes.
So it's like $400 for a call.
Yeah.
Yeah, I spoke to him very briefly about this.
Mhm.
It's, I mean, I don't, yeah, I mean, it just seems insane to me, this whole situation, but.
Well, the thing is,
The ambulances are
No,
losers
I-
for town.
I,
You don't make
Yeah,
any
no,
money
no.
for ambulance
Yeah.
service.
No.
but they're required by the state.
no, I know,
Okay.
it's a,
And the thing is, if, to have a paramedic
yeah,
for the town of Warren, you would have to have all paramedics.
yeah,
And paramedics cost a lot more than what we're paying for our firefighter EMTs.
right. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not
No, I'm just-
complaining against the fire department or anything,
yeah, no, I'm just explaining, that's all.
That whole scene is
Right.
bewildering to me, and it's just because I'm ignorant about the ins and outs of it, and there, yeah, anyway, so.
Yeah,
without-
no, but that's the way it is. I mean,
I know,
you
I
know,
know.
it's just a tough situation.
It is,
I don't know if you could get an outside ambulance service to come into town to do it for any less.
right,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because they're gonna wanna make money.
right, right. Yeah, it would, in all likelihood, it would be more.
Right.
So let's move to recommend Article 23.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Article 24 is not a monetary one. It's seeking special legislation to allow one of the employees to continue on past the age of 65. Still has to be reviewed by town council, and I'm waiting on some clarifications from the insurance provider.
So I don't even think we really need to act on it.
What
'cause
position does he hold?
he's a firefighter. He's an on-call firefighter.
On-call firefighter.
But there's no money concern per se.
Yeah.
It's,
Yep.
we don't need to. All right, so I'll do Dawn, all right?
So I would anticipate you guys saying no recommendation?
Well, we,
Well, it's a not applicable.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I
Yeah.
would put not
It's-
applicable,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, usually it's no
It's-
recommendation, but there's
Okay.
no money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we
So-
can,
so
we
we
can
have no
speak
say
to
in
it
the
in our
matter.
personal capacities, but
Yeah.
not as a finance committee,
Okay.
because there's no money involved.
Right.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, to see if the town will vote to transfer from available funds the sum of $2,100 to treasurer's expense for a filing cabinet and accessories for treasurer's office to replace non-functional file cabinet. I almost had a heart attack when I saw this.
$2,100 for a
Yes.
file
It's one of those
cabinet?
big ones, the long ones this long, and the
Wow.
drawers
So let me-
open this way.
I'm sorry.
Let me
Did
just
that
show
come
you.
out the way- I mean-
It fell.
Hang on.
Oh, you're kidding.
Right, the cabinet fell,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, here it is. Hang on.
I-
This is what happened, okay?
Good
One
God.
of the employees was right there, okay?
Holy-
She got marked pretty good.
Oh, my God.
It could have been a lot worse.
Holy moly.
Yeah,
It could have been a lot worse.
You're not
This,
kidding.
this filing cabinet is non-functional, and the reason why it's non-functional is that those drawers should not be allowed to come out like that.
Right.
There should
Yeah,
be a
yes,
stop.
Exactly.
And only one drawer should be able to come out at a time.
Time, right,
exactly.
right,
Yeah.
right. So
Oh
this
my
is a
God.
non-functioning,
And the next file cabinet should get anchored to the wall in some capacity
Yes,
too.
Right,
yes,
That
you're
would
right.
right,
You're
right.
right.
But it's not this size, because, you know,
Yeah,
because when I saw this,
I
I
was
said to
gonna-
Jim, I said,
You
are
think
you
of a file
kidding
cabinet,
me?
that's what you
Right,
think of.
right,
Not the-
right.
not
You know?
the
Yeah.
big
Oh,
boy.
yeah.
And so,
Right.
and he says, well, no. he
Is
says
that what
it's
they
the big-
cost? Is that the
Yeah.
going
Yeah,
rate for?
okay.
Dawn would be, she would double, triple check.
Yeah.
I had to ask her to put this on because for insurance purposes,
Oh,
I'm not
totally get
comfortable
that.
not having it addressed.
I totally get that. Been in insurance for 40
Move.
years. I totally get that.
Because that's what I was thinking of, you know, you go to the doctor's office and that's those cabinets, so when he said to me, no, it's the big one like this, I said, oh, like in the doctors or the dentists, they open it and they got all the files for
Yeah, but-
patients, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that's
So,
scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We lucked out on that one, somebody.
Yes.
I-
Holy moly.
I have a slightly smaller version, I have a couple of slightly smaller versions of that, if I could. There was a guy I knew who, they were cleaning out a company's, was just kind of moving out of a place, and he was able to pick them up for free, and he had like a dozen of them, so he was calling people, asking if they could use it. They make great tool storage, so.
I make a motion to recommend this
But
one.
the picture is what it
Oh,
sold
yeah.
that
Oh,
article.
Yeah, and I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
So I may have to have that picture available at
You
town
can
meeting.
put that up.
Yes.
Yeah,
Put it up on the,
screen.
yeah.
Yeah, because I think, right, a typical,
That's scary.
Because, I mean,
a
this
typical
is-
resident's
this
gonna
is-
say $2,100 for a file
You know,
cabinet.
Yeah,
it-
that's what I
It's really
said.
important.
Oh, my God,
Yeah.
that's huge.
Yeah,
That's exactly what I said.
and
Oh.
just, yeah,
Okay, and I'm gonna have Jim, somehow this is gonna get in there, that's not in the article. See if the town will vote to transfer from free cash, the sum is $72,900 to pay down principal on debt issued for the highway backhoe. This will be paying it off. I think it needs to say that, you know,
Yeah.
council may recommend how you put it in.
Mhm.
We bought a backhoe, the balance is 72,900, but it just says to pay down principal on debt. I think it should
Just
say,
to pay it off.
Pay it off,
yeah,
yeah.
to pay down principal, to pay
to pay off
Pay off
existing
principal.
debt.
right,
Yeah.
so
Not pay
somehow-
down, pay off.
Well, that's what I thought it
Yeah.
should say, but
Mhm.
Dawn
No,
wrote it
I-
up and,
okay.
you know, he can check with her or
Mhm.
council and. So, that would be good.
So that's a $73,000 hit.
Yep,
on free cash.
72,900.
Mhm.
Yep. But it's paying it off,
But it's, yeah, it's a debt, so it's
So we don't have to
when you borrow.
pay interest
no
anymore.
more
Yeah,
interest on it,
yeah.
you know.
Interest rates have gone up every year.
Crazy.
Is it adjustable?
Yes.
Then, yeah, let's pay it. This is for the
Tobacco.
backhoe. I'll make a motion to recommend Article 26.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I think we're gonna get to these, Jim, and I don't think, after we get to the assessors, that we really don't need to, on the assessors ones, 28, 29, we don't gotta do anything on that, so.
Yeah.
All right, to see if the town will vote to transfer from free cash the sum of $1550 to the assessor expense line for the following unanticipated fiscal year 24 expenses, $700 for assessors and assistant assessors, continue education and certification training, $350 for annual multiple listing service subscription, and $500 for mileage expense. Okay, I just have one question.
Okay.
$350 for annual multiple listing service, what's that?
The MLS, that's for the real estate listings?
And what happens is,
I don't
all
understand.
right, Bruce is a Realtor.
Yeah, I know that.
He has this for houses he's looking at and trying to sell. We've been he's given us options to use it, and we have multiple times to gain access to improvements that were not, they're advertising the selling, but they're not in town notices. Like, no permits were done, but decks were done,
Right.
upgrades. So this is his annual fee for it. We could do it on our own as a town, but it would be like $1,200 as a town to do it.
Okay. So,
It has been
Yeah.
very,
I know about,
okay,
I,
I'm done.
no, I'm
No,
just
it's okay, it's
asking
okay.
a question.
Yeah,
So he, as an assessor, is going to build the town and he is going to get paid? So he's going to be outside vendor or this service?
no, the town will pay the bill.
To who?
To the MLS who's providing this.
Okay, that's
yeah.
what I'm asking.
Bruce will not get a check.
No, well, you said
Yeah.
he,
Yeah, no, he's just.
that's why I'm
right,
asking you what the multiple
Yes,
listing service is.
right.
That's like the company.
Right.
Okay,
Mhm.
that's
Yes,
what I'm asking.
Yes. It has been extremely worthwhile. He's been letting us use it for months.
I get it now. Well, you brought his name up, that's why we just wanted to
Yeah,
make sure that
mhm,
we're on the
yeah,
same page
yeah,
as what you were
mhm.
saying. Go ahead, Ray.
Just a quick question, why is so the extra 500 mileage expense
That's a lot.
is, it's just a query as to why that was unanticipated? Or is that because gas prices have gone up more and they're paying for gas?
over the
So
training.
I guess I can address that to some extent. To my knowledge, that the assessors haven't put in for mileage expense in the past.
Okay.
That's how I interpret it. And so, one of the chief roles of the assessors is to drive around town
Right.
and to go to different properties and assess, look at things. So they have not charged for mileage. They've seen other departments charge for mileage, and rightfully so.
No, I understand. Yeah.
And so I think they want to start, doing that.
And just to give you an example, we figured out over the last, I would say averaging $25 to $30 a week. We've been, because we're so
Okay.
backlogged in that department, that we've been doing, multiple, 20 inspections a week. So the mileage has come up to be like $25 a week. So you have $100 a month.
No, there's nothing, I'm not questioning
No,
it.
but I
There was
wanted to
only
just
one
explain.
time, I can tell
I mean-
you, Ray, I was here for 18 years. There was only one time, 1 year when the assistant assessor, I don't know why the assessors ever decided to let the assistant assessor go out and measure and inspect. As far as I feel, that's the Board of Assessors' job. That's
Yeah.
what they're there for. She did put in for mileage. Other than that,
They've never
all
put in
the
for-
other years that I was
Yeah.
here, never once did any member of the Board of Assessors put in for mileage. But
Okay.
they're entitled to it, and they should get it.
Yeah,
And it's to the IRS standard, so
right.
it's, I think it's
50.
65 cents now.
Oh, okay. I'm
It's-
out of
it's
date. I was
pretty
gonna
low.
say it was 58 or something like
It's,
that,
it's
but,
pretty low, I don't know. what it is,
January
but-
1st, they put out the new rate.
yeah.
I think it's 65.
And it
65
doesn't go in
cents right
effect
So
to
this-
us till July, it goes our fiscal year.
now.
Right, okay.
Mhm.
That's right in the personnel bylaw, isn't it?
Right.
Yep.
And so for this article,
That's the
I'm
total.
sorry, Karen, you can't vote on it.
I know,
Yeah,
I know.
okay.
Yeah.
So that's fine. She's still here, though. That's still.
She can give commentary.
Right, but
But she can't vote.
she still counts as making us 3 out of the 5.
Right,
She's still
Right,
here.
right,
Okay.
right, right.
I just wanted to make sure.
right.
Okay,
So we'll move to recommend Article 27 to the town meeting.
okay, I will second that motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Abstaining?
Aye.
Very good.
I just wanted to make sure that she counted
Yeah.
to make
yeah,
us,
yeah.
because we have to have the majority.
quorum.
Quorum.
Yeah.
I just, that's the only question I
Very
have.
good.
The next two, I don't think,
These haven't been reviewed by town council 28 and 29. None of them have been. These are adjustments to what the town has already adopted for abatement purposes on a couple of the abatements and exemptions. I don't think that on 28 and for 29, for that matter, we could go backwards. So, I mean, I think, to become effective July 1, 2023, town council will let us know, but I don't think we can go backwards. So I think this would have to be, it wouldn't go into effect until probably July 1st of 2024.
Okay.
Okay, you'll let us know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just-
yeah. That's not really for a vote, really
Okay.
for us
Mhm.
either, so.
That's just my opinion. I could be wrong, but,
Yeah, because
town
generally
council
you
will.
don't, yeah,
will-
because generally you don't go backwards, so,
Yeah.
Okay.
okay. Okay, you can do the next one, you can do the last two.
Okay, so Article 30 is from the town accountant, from free cash again, $1,400 to the accountant expense line for accounting, educational, training courses, or to take any action relative thereto. I believe there's an email from Tammy Martin regarding training. Her contract was recently renewed, and during negotiations, it was discussed about some additional training that the selectmen would like to see the town accountant participate in. And that is the training that is before you. So if that was available, I think is it from Abrams, Karen?
Abrams.
Abrams, yeah, it's the
I think
training.
that's what you have put.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't have the second
I don't
page
have
of it.
Oh,
It's Abrams.
Abrams, yeah,
Yeah.
is the training, and so she's looking to participate in that.
Oh, I guess that's the last one. Yeah,
Abrams Group for Municipal Law and Boot Camp, there's two
Yeah.
trainings.
Okay. Make a motion to recommend Article 30.
A second.
all in favor?
Article 31 is a bylaw change to incorporate the position of town administrator to the capital planning committee. The town is hopeful to get the capital planning committee going again. And as part of early housekeeping, the Board of Selectmen would like to see the position of the town administrator on the capital planning committee. I believe right now it's a member of the finance committee, treasurer,
Selectmen,
selectmen,
and then outside.
and then a couple
Residents.
outside residents. This is anticipation of getting the committee back into, together. And Article 32, I don't believe that there's gonna be a need for this. I think after council reviews it, I think the Board of Selectmen can change the fee, and can make an exception for people 70 years or older. But this is a bylaw change for dog licenses for individuals 70 years or older. This would be to exempt them from paying for dog licenses if you're 70 years or older. I think that can be adjusted directly by the Board of Selectmen, does not need a town meeting vote.
Because they do the fees, the electrical fees, the building permits.
Makes
so
sense.
So I think,
That's why you put question mark.
I think that 32 will be eliminated before this is over. And Article 33 is a personnel bylaw change. As you recall, in May, the bylaw for a residential bylaw for within 15 miles of the town's borders, somebody would have to live, was eliminated. This was missed in our personnel bylaw, so we would eliminate it here as well. So that would take care of that as well. Again, no money involved in that. So I think Madeline, I don't know, Madam Chair, if you want me to talk about where we are after all that's said and done.
Yeah, how much free cash we
Okay. So if all of these articles were to pass as face value, all of them, what we talked about here with the 3,000, with everything here, you're looking at a total spending package of $1,089,811.26. Now, when I say total spending package, that includes putting money away into reserves. Out of that, you're putting approximately $452,000 into your savings account. So I'll break down the numbers even further and get percentages for you, but this is just rough numbers right now. And so then, if everything was to pass and there wasn't anything else there, we would still be in the position of somewhere around carrying over a free cash balance of $490,000 in change. Now, the $490,000 number is a strong number to have on the books in case there's something catastrophic happens between now and the end of the fiscal year that we can address and we wouldn't need to borrow for because interest rates, as you know, are through the roof for borrowing. So this wouldn't really affect us in terms of that. We would have money available. So where is the total? Oh, schools wasn't in here, right? So if you look at the general fund,
Was 4 million, I don't remember.
so what was the total?
If we have 1.5 in free cash now, right?
Yep.
Yes.
And then we're taking,
1,089,000.
okay, all right, I'm
Yeah.
good.
Yep.
Just have to
Of
say it
that-
out loud, got it.
Right, of that, we're spending 637.
Right. mhm.
And then 452 we're putting.
Right.
The school was.
So I was just trying to what was the general fund, Madeline?
6,705,586.
Okay, and then the school,
I,
please?
this, you can add this in, but I don't, 4,045,809,
4 million,
yeah, 045,
45.
809. Do you remember how much we gave them, Ray? 5 what?
That was an additional.
Just hold on,
5:30, wasn't it?
530, add in
No, 6 something, 6:15.
Yeah, that's right.
615?
Yeah, we were looking
Yeah.
to try to get 5:30.
Okay,
yeah.
so add in 505, 505,000 more.
So you're at you're at an operational with schools you're at 11,256,000. So the Department of Revenue recommends, to be around that 3 to 5% range of free cash, always readily available. Okay, we would be at somewhere around the 4%, okay, of that number, if you include the schools, okay? So we'd be a little over 4%, you're at, 490, okay? So we would have that available. Seems like you spent a lot of money and still have a lot of money left over.
I was surprised at the selectmen's meeting when you said the 3 to 5%, and I'm doing the math in my head real quick, and I'm like, well, we've got a heck of a lot more than that.
Right.
I didn't realize
Afterwards.
what was gonna be drawn down from it, so, which is fine, I'm just saying that,
Yeah.
it's like, because I think you remember me saying at the meeting, did I have any comments, and I was just, it was like, yeah, I was surprised that number is so high, and, pleasantly surprised, I think is what I said, so.
Right.
Reality sets in, and now it makes sense.
Right.
Mhm.
But that's why I
We
said to
still have
Jim,
enough left.
I
Yeah.
said to Jim, people need to understand, we got 1.5, but 450 of it
Right.
is
And,
carryover plus,
and
Would-
in
and-
addition
and-
to the 450, the backhoe is paid off.
right. No,
So
but
that-
I just want people to understand,
Backhoe's paid off.
right, no, but I
Yeah.
want people to understand, the 1.5 free cash isn't over budgeted.
Right,
It was 433 carried over, and then
Right.
we closed the landfill enterprise fund, that balance got put in,
Yeah.
which is a one-shot deal.
Right.
Next year, there's nothing coming from
right,
the landfill, so.
right,
So the true free cash is about $1 million, is about what we got last year,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I'm not saying that we can't improve on budgeting. There's still room for improvement on our budgeting. And I was talking to Madeline, and I was talking about seeing if we can maybe come up with a capital budget, right? Okay, something similar to this, but just capital needs, for the town, so that we can start looking at those things. So these are things that, we can improve on. We can crunch some more numbers, for the townspeople. But, these are done, a lot of these expenditures are done, with thought and put forward to the townspeople to strategically address some of these needs.
Well, the thing is that it's hard to say, I haven't had the chance to look at the final for year end of last year, that it's not any big 100,000 here, other than maybe medical, you know what I'm saying? But it's 10,000, like the police have so many line accounts. So his total might be 50,000, but some of it could be from salary,
Yeah.
from this and from that. So it's kind of.
It
hard
all
to-
adds up.
And that's the thing, because the first year, last year, when I came up to look at the year-end report, and I saw the unexpended balance over $1 million, I was ready to fall off the chair, because I never saw that when I was here, and I'm saying, oh my God, don't tell me there's something seriously wrong, And poor Don Swistack had the same thing. It's like, really? Really? So I went through, and Jim said, and all I did is, I didn't write the departments down, I just wrote, 5,500, 3,500, whatever the, and then I added them up, I said, okay, wasn't right to the penny, I just wanted to see,
Yeah,
where it
Estimate,
was
yeah.
coming from, and that's what Jim says, well, can you give me that? I said, Jim, everybody tells me my penmanship's terrible, Bill Slosstein used to pick on me, say, Madeline, you write so terrible. I said, listen, if I had to pass a penmanship test or numbers writing test, I'd never get a job. I said, so, as long as I can read it, that's all that counts.
yeah.
All right, so I guess we can make a motion to adjourn.
One other thing that I would
Okay.
just like to mention to the committee, And I know that we did it last year, and I know that Madeline's gonna be working on it, in trying to put it together, but, at one of our meetings, we're gonna have to talk about the budget calendar, to get it drafted, so Wanna-
I've got it,
throw it out to the board.
why don't you print it for next week, Jim?
Mhm.
We can add
Okay.
it, because I got it's in the cabinet
Okay.
there. Of when, things are gonna be due and
Yeah.
everything's gonna
Yep.
get done. Because,
Well,
we'll talk about
she's
that
got the
after, so why don't we
articles
just
coming.
make a motion to adjourn, so,
Okay.
Move to adjourn?
second,
Second?
all in
And-
favor?
Aye.
And it's 7:56. I'm
Okay.
just waiting for him to